Right, I think we're live. Just get comfortable and get ready because I'm nowhere near ready. See when we've got people in. I need a pencil. Oh, we've got 4 of you in. Lynn, hiya Lynn, hiya Jill. I'm very busy today, so I've hiya Dawn, hiya Pauline. Good evening all of you. I hope you're having a good one. Mine's been a bit hectic, but it's been nice not to be packing today. Hiya Christine, I've not seen you for ages, and I hear that you might have got yourself a little new embroidery machine. Congratulations. Hiya Phil and Christine Johnson. Hiya Sue, hiya Frankie. Good evening to you all. I'm just trying to line that up. Got quite a bit to do today, so I'm hoping I can get it all done. Bev, hiya Bev. Yes, I'm fine, thank you. Hello Sharon. I've not had time. And Lynn, hi there. How is Robin this week? Robin is doing really well, thank you Lynn. We're actually hoping, she's still in HDU, but we're hoping that pretty soon they're going to say you can go home. We know it's never going to be a normal homecoming for them, but it'll be good. Hiya Jane, did you manage to get your gnome sorted? So is it true, Christine? Did you get yourself one? Valerie, hi Valerie. Right, what have I been doing this week? Let's start telling you something because there's a few of you in. Anne, right, Anne. Yes, I'm going to help you. I think I can help you, and I'll try and do it in and amongst because other people might have to do such a thing for their little grandchildren. So let's see if we can help you. Right, what have I been doing this week? Packing, 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 and more packing. Gnomes, but they've all gone out, so it's been a bit hectic because the post office in Brearley where we take them is closed due to COVID. Hopefully they've not got them. Hi Sarah, they've not got it. They've gone for testing, but fingers crossed. So we've had to wait for Royal Mail to come and pick up all the orders, so the house has been full of them. And yesterday we got our we got some central heating for the first time, which was lovely, I must say. It's been really cold and it was lovely to have some heat in the house. I've got it down here, don't worry. I spend most of my time down here, so it's only when I go up on an evening. Hiya Valerie, hiya Heather, hiya Leanne. Yep. Right, so what I'm going to do first of all is I'll tell you what I've been doing and then I will get on with something and then I'm going to help Anne out if possible. So I hope none of you mind about that. I'll tell you what she put on my Facebook group, that a little grandchild, I think it's a grandchild, has got a Peter Rabbit and he takes it to school and it's a bit muddy in the playground. This is what I interpreted from it, and she needed some an outfit for him to keep him covered up to stop him from getting too dirty. Hiya Val. So she's made the jacket no problem and she wants to make the trousers, and I think what you've done is you've not done enough crotch depth, so I'm going to help you out with that if possible. So I'll show you on my rabbit. It's not Peter Rabbit, but it's still lovely, aren't you? Yeah, it's still lovely. So I'll show you on this one how I would go about helping you out with that. What's on desk tonight? Oh my word, what isn't on the desk tonight? Well, first of all, there is a nice big gin and ginger. Congratulations to you all. I hope you've all got yours. What have I been doing this week? And then I'll tell you what's on my work desk tonight. I've been packing, as I've said, but I've also been doing some Christmas Eve boxes for my grandchildren. And while I was sticking them together and painting, I decided to do myself these, oh, they're all falling out. These are embroidery threads, and I've got them, one left. I got this stand from Jean B off of Chanda, oh, nearly. And it came with these little spools, and I've got some Valdani threads. Sharon, all your fault, you're an enabler. She told me where the Valdani threads were, so I had to get them. And I thought that being Valdani, and if you can see, they've got all different shades, that's a better one to see, of the same colour. So I think they're lovely for hand embroidery. And these slot on there. So I decided to decorate these up while I was, I'm not going to spend all time putting them back on. I will do it afterwards. I'm trying to get my backdrop nice for you, so that you can see all nice things on here. So I'll just pop them on there for now. So I did that, and I also did this one. I really like this one because what I've done is I've put flowers on, and I've put little bobbins and things on there. And this slides open, and inside there we've got more of them, and I've got my thread, what do they call it, thread conditioner. So that's another one that I did, and these are all going to go on here. And I went on eBay in the week, and I was looking for some little sewing machines, and this is a handheld one. It's a Vulcan, and I think that comes off. I'm not sure how to do it. I've only put it up yesterday. This comes off, but I just thought it'd look nice on the backdrop for you. So I've got that, and I've got some more bits and pieces coming, because I quite like the vintage things. Those drawers Mark got me for Christmas. I don't know if you can see them on there. So I've been purchasing a few things for that. I also did this one, which is just a wooden box for my scissors for my embroidery machine. So I keep that at the side of my machine. So I've been doing that. I've been sorting some fabrics this week to start some presents, and found a box that I got of yours with a Christmas. Oh, it's Stanley. Oh, you need to make him. You need to make him. Yeah, Stanley's lovely. So you didn't get Hilda to go with him. He's all on his lonesome. Right, so I'm also getting ready for this, because these what I'm doing on here, you know, you can't see it. We have half a kitchen. Well done. We've got about 3/4 of a kitchen, maybe 1/4 of a utility room, half of a bedroom, no bedroom in the other one. So I know how you feel, Kaylee. I know how you feel there. Right, so Halloween. I've been doing this. I know the back to front. Love the box with the scissors. If you get yourself a box, Bev, I will decorate one up for you. No problem. I bought this from, is it Embroidery Garden or Smart Needle? I'm not sure. If anybody wants to know, I will have a look. These are some designs that I got. I decided to make little bags for my grandchildren for Halloween, because they're not going to be able to go out Halloweening. So I thought, if I make them a bag, fill them with sweeties and colouring pencils and colouring pages, I thought that'd be nice. Hiya, Panji. So I've got these, and I've been doing these all day today because I've been packing up until today. So I did this one for Oliver, and I think that's supposed to be Dracula. Yes, it's got fangs. This one is for our Jack, because it's a jack-o'-lantern. I did Abigail a ghost, because I thought it was a bit more girly. I did Isla a ghost, because she's a bit of a wuss, and had trouble trying to get on. Oh, sorry. Oh, no worries, Margaret. That's not a problem at all. I wonder why you've had trouble trying to get on. I wonder if it's your internet or something. Hey, hi, Michelle. So this one is for our Isla. Like I said, she's a bit of a wuss, so I thought she might get a bit scared with some of the others. And for the babies, I've done Malachi, a trick or treat one, and I've done Robin, another trick or treat one. So what I'm going to do is, tonight, I'm going to make this into a bag, but I'm going to do some ruler work on the back piece, and I've found some fabric in my stash with spiders on, so I'm going to do spiders on the inside, and I'm going to fill it with sweets. Now I know Robin is too young for sweets, but her mum and dad are in hospital with her, and I know for a fact they'll like to have some sweets on Halloween. So I'm going to do that tonight. I'm also going to help Anne out with the rabbit. But what else I've been doing, and I've been wanting to do this for quite a while, is the beeswax food wraps. And they work perfectly. Let me just show you how they work first of all, and then I'll tell you how I did them. So this, I've found this bee fabric, and some of you have had this off me before. So basically, it's beeswax mixed with a pine resin and jojoba oil, and you spread it onto your fabric. It's 100% cotton. It's got to be. You spread it on there, and if anybody does want to see me do it, I will do it another week and show you how you actually get to this. But you mix it together. I will give you the quantities if anyone wants it. But you spread it on there, put it between pieces of parchment, and I melted it in my melting pot, because obviously from my stamping days I've got a melt pot. But you could do it with an iron by just putting the beeswax and everything else on here and using an iron. Now I didn't want to use my £250 iron, so I just used a cheap dry iron. I think I got one for about £13, and I just used that because you don't want any steam anyway. So basically how they work then is the heat of your hand warms them up, and you can take an apple, no meat, you can take an apple or something like that, wrap it around it, and the heat of your hands seals it. So if you want to take apple to work and keep it nice and fresh and clean, that will work perfectly. But you can use it for cheese, eggs, sandwiches, bread. So I've done all sorts of shapes. I've done some rectangles for sandwiches. I've done circles for on top of bowls. So you just seal that around it, then you can store it in the fridge. I've used some more rectangles, but I've done a really big rectangle for bread because I make my own bread. So I'm hoping that I can wrap my bread in there, and I put bees on it. And I'm really impressed with it, and apparently it keeps your food fresh, doesn't taint it by smell or anything like that. And to clean it, all you do is use cold water. Obviously you don't want to get any hot water on because it'll melt it. And they'll keep for up 6 months to a year. And then if you wanted to, you can just redo it. So when you're ready to, and it really does seal it, when you're ready to eat your produce, it's not tainted in any way, and it's there ready. So if anybody does want to know, I can tell you how I got to that. But I'll show you what I used for it. You can get beeswax in pellets, and I got these off Amazon. Or I've also got a friend, hi Mary, I don't know if you're on, but Mary Flatman's husband keeps bees. So you can get the beeswax in a block and melt it down. Now I used half a block, and I did all those from 1/2 a block. And Angie, I know you're on there. You will be getting some of these for Christmas because it saves you using cling film. So the other thing is pine resin. Now you might think pine resin's hard to get hold of. I got this huge bag from Amazon, and you just grind it down in a pestle and mortar, very easy to do, and you put those in together. And then the last one is jojoba oil. Now again, I got that from Amazon. If you don't want to purchase anything like that, you can use coconut oil. So that's all the products that was in the beeswax wraps, and it's quite an enjoyable thing to do. I'll just put these down here out of the way. Excuse me. Right, so let's get on with some sewing, because that's what we're coming here for. And then in between I will have a break and show Anne how she could get away with doing her pattern. Right, so I've just done a dot. Oh, you can't see, sorry. Right, let's bring you round here. I'll try and do it slowly. Can you see my desk? Can you see here? You should be able to. I'll move it on a bit. Let's just move those out of the way. Right, can you see? No, you can't, so, but you can see here. Right, I'll try and do it a bit further up. I've got my nested squares here, which is the all-round squares. I'm going to do some marks on here to make a spider's web. So I'm just marking the points that I need to, and the central point. So I'll lift it up so you can see. So if you can see on there, I just marked the centre, the top and all the corners, and I'm going to join those dots up. I apologise if you can't see properly. I might need to get myself another stand. But I'm going to do ruler work on the banana to do this. I could have got my embroidery machine out and done it all with Amelie Scott edge to edge, and I might do for some of the others, but I just thought this would be nice to do for tonight, something different. So if you can see on there, I can't actually see if you can see, but I've got my what they call it, my angles done on there. I've got some embroidery thread in my machine, and the ruler I'm going to use is hexagons, so I'm going to take those off and get those ready to use. I'm going to move you around to my right because a few of you have said that's the best position for you to see what I'm doing. So apologies, you're just being rocked about. Try not to bump your heads. There we go. Right, does that look a good enough position? Can you see okay there? I think you can, can't you? Hiya, Diane. If anybody's got any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I will try and keep looking. I know I'm on my own. We're not allowed to have anybody here. And I don't really want to get into the ins and outs of COVID, but it is very worrying at the moment. This is the Supreme slider, and this just helps your fabric move a lot easier when it's on here. You can see it's just slipping out basically. But it's got an hole in the middle, and I need to leave that gap there for the I'm going to have to reach over here and apologise. I need to get into my little wardrobe for my foot. This is the Alice Stitch Fingers ruler foot, and I've got it on my Banana shank adapter. Banana foot is very expensive, and you really don't need to be spending that much money on it. So I've got that in there. I'm going to drop my feed dogs, which is literally pressing a button, which is done. Slow my speed down to halfway. This is how much sewing I've done. It's still on halfway from the last time I was on a chanda, which was over a week ago. The light's a bit bright. Sorry, I forgot about that. Let's turn that down. Hang on. Oh, it's actually at the lowest from the chanda. Right, let's turn it off. Sorry. Go back. That must be better for you, but I can't see a thing. Hiya, Catherine. Right, I'm going to get my gloves. I just find it easier with gloves on. I'm not going to be doing too much anyway, so it's not that bad. Put that back to start. And that one. Right, so the gloves do help you hold the rulers. But if you notice on my rulers, I've got some Velcro. I can say Velcro because I'm not on TV. Right. Gloves on. So I'm just using a polyester wadding. I'm not using the backing on it because I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to line the, I'm going to line the bag. No, it hasn't. That's got the Velcro. You need to put the Velcro down with your against the fabric. Right, so I'm going to start at this top position here, and I'm going on the inside because I'm going to have my seams at the side here, so there's no point doing any ruler work up to that point because that's going to be in the seam allowance. So I'm going to stop and raise my needle to bring up my thread. Have I got any tweezers here? Yep, I have. Oh, I can go underneath here. I'm just going to grab my underneath thread and bring it to the top. That way I'm not going to get any nesting underneath, and I can tie my threads off, and it's going to be all nice and neat and finished. Right, no problem. Thank you for telling me, Lynn, by the way, because I can't tell by looking at it whether it's hard for you to see, and there's no point you watching if you can't see what I'm doing. So thank you for telling me, I appreciate it. Right, so I'm going to drop my needle and I'm going to start to stitch here. Now I've got my stitch length on about halfway. How big the stitches are is determined by how fast I move this work here. If I kept it still, it would just stitch in the same spot. So me moving this is going to make the stitch length. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way around. I'm going to tie off here, and then I'm going to do one further in. And hopefully this is going to give me a spider's web look to the bag. Right, so let's go. Oops, I don't like that. We're off now. So I'm keeping it against the edge. I've got a variegated thread in. You don't have to move your work, but if you'd got a small throat rather than this big one here, you might have to move your work to allow your ruler to fit in, which is not a problem. There is no quilt police. If you want to do that, do it. You know, I've got plenty of space, but you could also have that ruler on the outside so that you're going to be stitching all the way with all your ruler out here. So that again would be a lot easier for you. Don't think because you've got a small machine you can't do it, because you can. Got a little wobble on where I first started. It takes you a few stitches to get into what you're doing, so just bear that in mind. Right, I've gone over it a few times. I'm going to snip my thread. I'm going to take this one out, and I'm going to get, let's see which one I want to use. I don't want it too close together. Let's see, yeah, that one will do fine if I do it on the inside. It always stitches a quarter of an inch away from where you start, so that one will be fine. So I'm just going to do exactly the same again. Bring my, oops, I forgot to hold my thread. I can't get hold of it now with my gloves on. So I'm going to get my thread there, lift it up. I can see the thread underneath anyway. Bring that out and then start doing this one. So keep your ruler as still as possible, holding down. And just follow it around the edge of the ruler. So easy to do. And back round to where it started from. Do a few stitches to lock off and break your thread. Take that one out and I'll show you what we've got so far. So you can see what I've used is, can you see on there? I can't see what you can see. I've used a variegating thread around there. If you can't see, let me know. It does look quite dark because I haven't got the ruler, the light on now. Oh, there you go. So you can see I've got those equally spaced all the way around. So I'm going to do a smaller one. Again, I'm going to do it on the inside. I find it easier to do the inside. Where's my thread gone? Looks like I've lost my thread. Oh, let me have a look for it. I don't want to poke something in the machine. There we are. There it is. I find it hard to work when I've got gloves on. And I've had gloves on all day today. We're doing those wraps. Here we go. For speed, I'm not going to bring the thread up. I'm just going to centre my ruler and go for it. So I'm going to just move that out of the way. thread out of the way. There we go. So now what I've got, you can't see, can you, again? I've got 3, oh, you can see it fine. Oh, thank you, Lynn, again, thank you. There, I've got 3 rows of that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a straight edge now to do all the ones in between. And it's a very quick project to do. So I've got my multi-rule one here. I'm going to position that, and I'm going to start at the, I'm going to actually start right at the edge because that's going to be off the seam allowance anyway. So I'm going to start here, do a few stitches. And then go all the way to the other side. Those threads because I did lock them off when I came back round. So I'm going to get my multi-ruler one again, and I'm placing it, if you can see, 1/4 of an inch away from where I'm stitching, or where I want the stitches to be. Adjusting it as I go, right up to the end again. And then I'm going to go from corner to corner. I think we're going to have to do a spider to be in the centre of this though. There we go. One more corner, and then we've got our spider's web. Very easily and very quickly. Oops. That's it, got it started. It'd be nice if we'd got a spider button or something to put on. There, if you can see, and Lynn said you could, so that's good. We've got our spider's web. I'm going to freehand or free motion a spider in the middle. So I'm going to do a circle for his body. And then I need to do some legs. So I'm just going to do some legs. I don't have to change the foot to do free motion. I can just go ahead and do it. There we go. So there in the centre we've got our little spider. So that is the back. I love watching and I love seeing it sewing. It makes me think I have so much to learn. Do you know what? It's having a go. Just please have a go. It's so much fun. And I think when you're doing it for your grandkids especially, it's lovely. I'm just going to trim that off there. So that is the back of my bag. And as I said, on the inside, I'm going to do the spider's web. So I'm just going to move you back around so we can do the lining of the bag. I'm not going to do any more free motion today. So I'm going to take off. Do you know what? Mark told me today that there was someone on Facebook who had a go at the pants, a couple of people actually, and they were really enjoying wearing them because they fit better and they were more comfortable. That made me so happy to know that somebody had a go and had benefited from it. Because I just think, why would anybody want to, have a go at it, and just because I've told them to? But if just one person has a go and does something from it, I'm happy. Oh, that gin's nice. Right, so I'm going to bring you back round to the other side so you can see what I'm doing. It is quite an easy project tonight, but it's a good one if you have got grandchildren who can't go Halloweening this year due to the COVID situation. Oh, that's better. You can see now what I'm doing. Then don't let me forget about him for Anne. Then I think to do this for them and give them something to, you know, to play with and enjoy, I think is it's going to be a nice surprise for them if they're not expecting anything. I tell you what, I don't need to cut it like that, do I? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut around the edge to cut all that extra wadding off. So that is going to be the back of one of my bags. I'm not doing anything elaborate for them. I just want them to have a little bag that they can bring out year after year, and they've got something to remember the nan with, and they can have some sweeties, and it's going to get used time after time rather than, you know, buying the plastic buckets that get lost and things like that. I think this is a nice alternative, something that they'll keep. Why don't you get some better scissors? It's because I'm at my sewing station and not my cutting station. So get yourself some spooky fabric. Right, so I've just roughly cut out a lining for the back of that, which fits in nicely with the spiders. I'm going to do our Oliver this one. So Oliver is going to have, and if you notice on my wadding, hiya Janet, you all right? I've got a seam there because I use all my scraps up. So Oliver is going to have a wadded bag with spider lining. And it's going to be just like a little tote bag. This is 9.5 inches square because I use one of my quilting rulers to cut the pieces out after I'd embroidered them. And actually the little embroidery designs are supposed to be, if you look, it's got that square at the top. Oh, well done. Was that Lynn? You've got yourself some pants. I'm really pleased, really happy. This is supposed to have one of those spring, you know, those what you press to the sides. I don't know what they call them. You know what I mean. Those things that you go like that with. They've got like a metal band. Somebody tell me. I really want to try embroidery, but I need some French terry for my jumpers first. Have I got any French terry? I think I might have got some French terry in Kaylee. I've got loads of stuff that needs to go on website. So this is supposed to have one of those little snaps in, but I just thought that size bag for sweeties, they're not going to get much in there, are they? So I thought I'll add the name to it and put it onto a bag. So that's what I've done. So that's going to be the lining of the bag, again with the spiders on. And I've done some handles just in blue, but I'm thinking I might do the handles in spiders. So yeah, I'm going to do, because I think it'll look better. So I'm going to quickly cut some handles out. They don't need to be big. And I'm just doing it by eye. There we go. Yep. So what I'm going to do is, is my iron still on? Yeah, it is. I might be able to do it without though. I'm just going to fold them in half. Fold the ends in to the centre. Fold that over again, and that will be the handles done. I don't even need to do that really, do I? Just fold them in. I think we can manage to guesstimate where they need to go. Yeah, that'll do nicely. So that'll do for my handles. Right, so I'll get my machine set up and I'll put you back into the corner. I know nobody puts baby back in the corner, but unfortunately you can't see if you don't. Where did I put my foot? Where did I put my foot? Never mind, I'll use one of the other ones. This one will do. You know, after I've done a Facebook Live, I've got stuff everywhere. And I like my room to be pristine and tidy, and there's stuff everywhere when I've finished. Right, I'm still going to use that thread because I like it. I'm going to put my feed dogs back up, put my speed back up, and I'm back in action. Right, so first of all, I'm going to do the handles because we need to put them in the bag. So I haven't put you back in corner, have I? Sorry. Do you know, rubbish. I get so engrossed when I'm sewing. I'll forget about you. And I do talk to myself, by the way. Whoa, you're going back into the corner. Turning around. There you go. Are you comfortable? Can you see all right? Sorry, that's my big cup of gin. It's only day I have gin, and I really look forward to it. It's because I'm with you lot. Right, so I'll not put the light on. I'll just... Where's my thread brock? See, I can't even see. Apologies for the Barnsley accent then, as my friend Brock. It's embroidery thread I've got on, and I don't think the machine's that enamoured by it, but... You're going to have it. There we go. Oh, it got pulled underneath, that's why. Start a little bit further in, Ali. There we go. So I'm just going to quickly zoom down each side of the handle. If anyone has got any requests of anything that they wanted to have a go at and they're not sure, and if I can help, I certainly will try. I'm sure you know that I don't just do sewing, I do a lot of other things as well. I enjoy crafting of all sorts. I'm in my element down here. Quickly zooming down the other side. And I do love my job, don't get me wrong. I don't enjoy the packing, but the designing side of it and the sewing side of it, I absolutely love. Right, so that's my handles. Especially doing things for the grandchildren. Right, so we've got two nice chunky handles there, because it's going to have lots of sweeties to hold. I've got my lining. I'm going to put them right sides together. And I'm going to stitch I'm going to do a few inches. I'm going to do a back tack, break the thread just in case I forget, leave a gap. I don't know if that's big enough to get the bag turned through, but we shall try. And then I'm going to stitch all the way around the rest of the square. So as I said, this is going to end up being about a 9-inch square bag if I do about a quarter of an inch seam allowance. There we go. So I've stitched all the way around and left an opening at this side here. Wow, that's not much. No, I'm going to leave a bigger opening than that. That's just mean. I need it to be about 4 inches, that'll be fine. It's not as if I'm going to stitch it up by hand either, is it? So I'll just reinforce that again. There we go. So now I'm going to stitch the back and the little spider, put the spider the right way up. I'm going to stitch these together, right sides together. Back tack at the beginning. think the mum's got an evening planned of scary movies or Goosebumps or something for them. Right, so I am going to bag, no, I'm not going to bag it out. Well, I am, but not now. I'm going to do a sugar bag bottom. So I'm just opening it up with my hands and I'm going to put the bottom seam to the side seam. I'm going to do it about just an inch. I don't want it to be too wide a bag. So open that bit out and do it about an inch. So you can see it's not straight, but it's about an inch. So I'm just going to trim off the excess because we don't want the bulk in there. Put my hand inside again, just open that out, squeeze those two together and stitch across about an inch up from the seam. Back tack, beginning and end. And trim that off. So you can see now it's got a bit of a body to it. I use it for my jump. Oh, sorry, you're on about. Sorry, I didn't realise there was a conversation going on there. I do like French Terry as well. I use it for jumpers. Right, I've got my handles, and they're not very long handles, so I just want to do them quite close together. So I'm going to turn the bag to the right side. I'm not going to forget to do my lining as well, the same way as I've just done the outer. Put my hand in there, poke those out. And then put my handles on. So I'll get my pins. So I'm going to, I can see where my centre is on the back because I've got the line from the spider. So I'm going to put it about an inch from the centre there. Make sure it's not going to twist. An inch at the other side there. Yep, that looks about right. And then I'm going to turn it around, put the side seams together and just repeat lining it up from the back one there. So I can see where the front one is, so I can just repeat that there. Making sure it's not twisted. Do the same with that one. Still looks close to that side. Pop a pin in there. And then that will be the size of the bag when it's done, so that's perfect. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the bottom of the lining here. So I'm going to put my hand inside, open out the base there, put the side seam to the bottom seam. It's easier with this because there's no bulk in it. And I'm going to stitch about an inch from the corner there and stitch all the way across. If you're not sure, get a pen out and draw it. Repeat on the other side. Again, just trim off the excess. And then you've only got another 5 to do, Ali. That's not bad. So I'm just going to trim off the excess again. And we're going to place the main bag inside the lining. There we go. Line up the seams at the sides there. And I'm going to start ouch, pins are sharp. I'm going to start stitching to hold that in place, and as I line up the other side, I'm going to make sure that the handles here are going to get caught in, but I need to take my pins out as I stitch. I don't like sewing over pins, so I'm just going to lift that up. I ought to have used clips really. Take the pin, ouch, that hurt. I am going to back tag over where the handle is, just to give it a bit more strength. Take the pin out of the next one. So I'm holding it with my fingers, and you're better off, if you've got a little bit hung over like I have there, trim it off, but I can see where it is, and I'm just going to make sure that that handle gets caught in. Just for speed, I'm not trimming it off, but I would do normally. Line up the side seams. Remove another pin. Back tack over that handle again. Take out the last pin. Making sure that's going to get caught inside. Back tack over where the handle is for security, and then continue to where you started. Right, so take that out, and now we've got to find the hole that we left, which is here, and it's a little bit bigger than it was when I first did it. Put your hand inside and bring out the body of the bag. Turn it all inside out. Pull that out nicely. Right, we've got there to stitch up that little hole. So if we just pull that straight, that'll line up nicely there. Just give it a nice press with your fingers. There we go. So I'm just going to stitch along there, because it's going to be on the inside, nobody's going to see it. Take that out. Just trim off that thread there. And there. Push all that to the inside, and then I'm just going to top stitch around the top of the bag to stop all the inner folding over like it is there. So I just like to press it first with my fingers, make sure it all stays nice. Get rid of all the loose threads. So I'm just going to top stitch around there now, making sure you don't catch your handles. Actually, I'm going to do it the other way because I want the nice thread on the outside. I've just got bobbin thread on the inside, so I want the fancy. And I'm going to put my stitch length up to about 3.4. Just making sure as I go around that I'm keeping it all lined up nicely on the edge. I'm doing about 1/4 inch top stitch. And there's no mistaking whose sweet is a whose, because they've got the name on. There we go. So that one is Oliver's little bag, and on the back we've got the little spider's web with the little spider in the middle. So all we need to do now is fill it with sweeties. So I'm going to put you back round the other side. And I have got some sweeties. I sent Mark shopping. Apologies for the rocky road. We've got retro sweeties, sweet shop sweeties, booty bags, dairy mix, you name it, we've got them. So let's have a look. Ooh, fruit salads. Who can remember fruit salads? And blackjacks and wambars. Oh, wham. Oh, mouth's watering. Let's just put a few in, because we've got 6 to share them out with. Put a few of them in. We've got in here scary mix. We've got lollies and bits and pieces in here. Put some of them in. We're going to put some colouring pencils in. I'll try not to get the noisy ones. Some star mix. They're all noisy, sorry. Put a couple of packs of those in. And they're noisy as well. And we've got some Swizzles ones. Let's have a look what we've got in here. Oh, sorry, noisy again. I'll not open them. But you can see that you're going to be able to get quite a lot in there. So I've got 5 more to go. So right, that is the bag done. Right, if nobody minds, I'm going to try and help Anne out with this little problem she's got. If you want to sign off, please feel free to. If you're interested in knowing how I would do it, then carry on listening. I've got some freezer paper here. I'll need to get a tape measure. Where's my tape measures? I've got loads. Quick swig of gin. Here we are. Right, so how I would go about doing some trousers, Anne, is measure around his waist. And this one is 13 inches. So we've got 13 inches around the waist. So you're going to be doing a seam down the middle. You don't have to do it down the sides as well if you don't want to. You can do it just by doing a seam down the middle. So what I would do is, I would do it a seam down the back and a seam down the front, and I would do the sides all in one piece. So 13 inches is the width of his waist. So you're going to need half that plus your seam allowance. So that's going to be 6.5. So it needs to be 6.5 inches. Where we start from. So we've got 6.5 there. And then you've got your seam allowance. So we'll do it without a seam allowance. Just do a line at each side of that. I will hold it up. Then you need to see how far you need to measure from his waist again, underneath, well, all the way to the back, and that measures 10. So you know that the crotch depth needs to be about 5. So your crotch depth needs to be about 5 inches. And obviously how long you want your legs. So let's say we want him to have shorts and we want it to go to about 6 inches. So it's not going to have much down his leg there. So we'll do it 7 inches. So we need to make a line at 7 inches. Right. I hope you can all see So I'm just going to draw a line down here at 7 inches. That is the leg length that we want. The crotch length needs to be at this line here, which is the 5 inches. And what we need to do is, we need to then measure his hips. And we've got to take into account for all this here. So we're going to measure his hips all the way around, and I'm going to make it a bit loose. And he's about 15 inches because they need to have some room. So half of 15 inches is 7.5. So if we go from the centre, let's have a see where the centre is of this. 6.5, which is 3 3/4, which is there. That's not right, is it? 6.5, let's make it 6. There it is, the centre. I'm going to draw a line down the centre. And that's going to be the side of his legs. So this side here. Right. So that's his waist. Is that his waist or is that his crotch? No, that's his crotch there. So what we need to do is we need to measure. His waist was 5.5 and his hips were 15, so that's 7.5. So you need to put the 3 on that line there. That's right. Move it down to this part here where the hip is, and that needs to be 7.5. So that needs to be on the half of that. Let's have a look. I'll explain it all to you when I've worked it out myself, because we need that length, that one to be 7.5. So 7.5 from there is there, and if you do the other side, that's 15. Yeah. So what you need to do is the waist here is the smallest one, which is 13. It's a funny shape. So the waist only needs to be 13, but then it needs to go quite wide because he's got a big tummy here and he's got big hips. So it needs to go quite wide. So if you look at it, if you were looking at that flat as a rather than a 3D image, it would come out here, but then it would go way like this, because that piece that we talk about here needs to go underneath. And as I've drawn it, I will cut it out and I will fix it to his body. So we know that on this piece of paper here, his waist is going to come to here, but we're going to actually draw a curve that is going to allow to go all the way under the gusset of his body. I know I'm not good at explaining. I've got a curve here. Sorry, I'll just go and get a curve. The French curves come in really useful. Right, so as you've seen me use before, I've got my French curve and I've got the smaller one here. We might be able to do it with the French one. So I know that I need to come down from the waist, which is there, round to here for his gusset, his crotch rather. So let's have a look what shape we need to do. Quite a deep curve. So we'll have to do it in a few different sweeps. So we're going to come down. Oh, you can't see there, can you? I've not got enough table length here. That one needs to go from there. That's it. Right. And I know yours is a different shape. But then we're going to go down for his legs, because his legs are only very skinny. So that is the shape that it needs to be. So this is his waist, this is his hips, and that is underneath his crotch, and this is his legs. So let me cut that out. Got some paper scissors here. And I'll show you on the actual rabbit how that will go. I'm only going to do half of it, but the other half will be the same. There's going to be half for the front and half for the back. The only difference you need to do is the front needs to be lower. Right, so this is our rabbit. See there, that's the side seam. That's going to go down the side of him. This is the front part. This piece is what's going to go all the way underneath. You see that? Move his leg out of the way. Gosh, she's a contortionist. So that's going to go all the way down there and inside. And then you will do the same. That piece will be double. So you'll do that piece again at the other side. And you'll do 2 of them. And one side will be coming here to go underneath for one leg. And then the other one will go for the other leg. So there you go. That shape is what you need to do your rabbit's trousers. I hope that helps you, Anne. If not, get in touch with me and I'll try and explain better when I'm not as tired. But let's put it so I can actually see it again. But let's hope that that helps you get some trousers for Peter Rabbit. Right, it is 8 o'clock, so I am going to go and have an hour with Mark, and I will see you all next week for What's on My Work Desk 16. It's going quick. So I shall see you all then, and try and be safe, please, everybody. Let's hope things get a little bit better. Take care. See you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.